live for part 2 of F-U. Who am I? Lilith reincarnated? So F-U and whoever you came with and your whole damn crew. First off, fuck yo bitch and the clique you claim. Yeah, that would be my boy too. Me and my boyfriend. What's up, everyone? I am the hostess with the mostest, the High Priestess Phoenix. In order to keep up with me, you had to catch my last live video. It was so fucking solid, bro. That shit was solid as fuck. People be hating me, dude, and then it's like, dude, that was so solid. Why? Because I'm the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the motherfucking truth. I was sitting in my car, the video was like, I hear you motherfuckers talking shit about the decisions I gotta make, right? That I'd be making. And then I pull out a card, and it's the Two of Swords, and it's talking about you gotta make decisions. And so I make the decision, right? I'm like, fuck you, dude. Fuck you. I gotta do what God says. I don't give a fuck what you think, motherfuckers. So I like call into my job, right? And then I get the kids in the car, and I'm driving right in between the buildings. I'm like, look at that big ass bird. That's, what the, oh my God, it's an eagle. It's an eagle. And the kids are like, what? I'm like, oh my God. Really? Yeah. They're not hard to see. I see them in Aurora. I've seen them. And it flew over. I was like, yes. What is that? I'm going to explain that right here in these cards. But it's like, how do you know when you're right with God? He'll tell you. First off, it wasn't my fucking choice. He gives you the choice, but do you really have a fucking choice when he's weighing so heavy on your heart? You must understand, as bad as I wanted to go to work yesterday, I wanted to go twice as bad today. A bitch got up, she put on her makeup, she was like, I'm gonna fuck it up. And they're like, no. I'm like, okay, I'll give myself some time, but I'm still going. Nope. I was like, fine, I'm not going to work. My cards look like this. Oh, because we was reading about the ducky duck. Anyways, so I had to make a difficult decision, and everybody want to fucking be mad at me because I have to make decisions. There's no choice. Go to work, bitch. Bitch, that's your choices. Those are your options. That's how your mind works. I know how the mind works. I hear that too, but I gotta hear my heart, and it's louder. And realistically, right now, my uterus is the loudest thing. I knew that would happen, bro. You'd be feeling alright, but then once the fucking blood starts moving and you start moving, oh man. How do you know? I've been doing this for 3 years. 3 years? I didn't have periods before this. God gave me a vision that I was going to have children, and he told me to get off of birth control. That's what kept me from dealing with this type of shit. All authority comes from God, bro. It wasn't my choice. Really? Every day, you're presented with choices, bro, and it's like, fuck. You do what you think is right, and that's not what's right, bro. Don't lean on your own understanding. You've got to honor your feelings, and that's what we talked about, and that's why I was like, dude, that shit was so fucking G. Really? I just want to show you, it's almost unbearable that my life is so predictable by the cards and the stars. Really? I swear to God, bro. If you're keeping up with me, if you wanted to be an ultimate stalker, you would get my cards and know what's going to happen next. And most of my cards, bro, we follow a pattern. So that pattern, that card was next. What pattern are we following? Because we take them one card at a time through the tarot, typically. So at the same time, what am I going to do? I'm going to pull my crows. Where are we in the crows? What was the last card we pulled? Wasn't it the fucking Four of Swords? So that means we're at what? A Five of Swords. We made a choice, and now what's that choice going to bring? Fucking conflict. Fights. Okay, you know I'm going to pull that card, so then you know what comes next. The Six of Swords means what? Sailing away from the bullshit. The Notorious don't go in that order. They don't? Not that I've seen. Let me double check. They're the highest level because they're through the Tree of Life. So even though we had the Two of Swords, oh yeah, they do actually. So we'll be in a Three of Swords, which is heartbreak. We're just going through chaos, bro. Really? Yeah, if you really want to know. The cards are nothing but confirmation. Why? Because it really comes over me. The shit really comes over me. Do I live by the cards? No. There's no power in them. They just confirm what's going on around us. Or in my case, what's going on with me. If you really wanted to stalk me, you'd know. And that's why people want to get into the Akashic Records, right? They want to know your destiny. They want to know what you're here to do and what your next move is. It's right there. If you've been keeping up long enough, you already know. You know what I mean? You know what Sunday is because we put those in order too. There's not much of this that's out of order. You're out of order. That's what I heard. Authority. Let me read this. My belly hurts real bad. I made the right decision. My belly hurts real bad, bro. That's it, dude. You go with your first instinct. You don't really know why you're being guided away, but you go and you find the confirmation later, which is what? My belly pain. My belly hurts. That's what happened at work. I said I was going to be there at 9. At 9 o'clock, my belly was going to start hurting like a motherfucker. What time is it? It's 9 o'clock exactly. Is it? 8:59 on this one. I swear, bro. My belly hurts. That's why I said, if I can get this motherfucker to stop hurting at any time today, I'm going to load up all that laundry. I saw the cart this morning at 5 o'clock in the morning when I was walking the dog. If I would have tried to pull that cart with the dog, she would have fucking panicked. She hates that type of shit. I was thinking about it. I have the best intentions. What am I looking for? The eagle, not the fox. The eagle. The ego. The voice of the eagle is one of confidence, strength, and authority. The eagle can provide guidance to those who find themselves in need of confidence. This card may indicate that the time has come for a querent to step into leadership role or fly high and be the example to others. That's what God always makes me do. He makes me show you how it's done by making me do it. I'm just the way shower, bro. I'm the first to do it, but I'm not. Just a first in this time for you to witness someone do it. And I always empower you because I don't know what I'm doing. And it's the first time anyone's ever done it. You know, I'm not really guided. I've never seen anyone do this type of shit. After you see me do it, it's supposed to empower you. That's going back to the other day. It's like, listen to what I said, bro. So that you can use this when the time comes. When you have the words, the knowledge. From my experience, I've learned the words to give to you. For your next experience, right? I'm the highest level of light, so I get blasted with the bullshit first. It's going to hit you, and you're going to remember how I handled it. And that's what it means, is to teach others, lead by example, be the example. All right, well, you saw what I did. Don't do what I did. You can do it better than me. You saw what, and that's where it is like, this is what the mind told me to do. I try to explain to you when you know the difference between the spirit and the conscious, the spirit and the mind, right? Okay, so going back to this, fly high and be an example to others. Channel the spirit of the eagle when you are going into battle or when you need confidence or clear sight in the challenges you face. And that's where I got clear sight yesterday. I started seeing, and that's what I spoke of this morning. My mind was too focused on the now. I wasn't seeing the bigger picture. I was getting caught up in now and trying to make now a bigger picture. You can look at any part of my life and see that I do that. I want to see a completion in all things. I want this to go to the end. I want this to be as big as I can make it. And that's where the spirit guides were teasing me. Like, why do you have to be employee of the year all the time? It's a good way to put it. That was hilarious. The power of the eagle is the power of intellect and charisma, but it also tinged with fear. While we admire the strength of this creature, we are also weary of its talons and sharp beak that make it a formidable predator. Have you ever been close? I was real close. I've gotten really close to them. They're amazing. They're so tall. How big are they? Bigger than 2 feet. They're about 2.5 feet. Just you know what I mean? As they stand from fucking, you know, from their claws to their beak. Really? They're huge, dude. And they look at you like any huge predator. They're looking at you hard. And you know that their eyesight is, they're almost looking through you, but it's a magnificent thing for it to be near you. But at the same time, it's like, you know, when a person sees a bear, their instincts kick in, either fear or curiosity. How far will this go? Are you dumb enough? Or is the child inside of you dumb enough to go pet this thing? Or is the child inside of you going to run from this thing? Or the adult knows that you're in the presence of greatness and you must behave. Anything could go wrong. You might have to, it might be a war against this animal. And that's the truth. I'd been close enough, I'd gotten close enough that bird, those fucking things, it could attack. I've seen it. There's videos on the internet of them picking up kids, dogs, all kinds of shit. Those things, and that's the greatest thing is, you know, the eagle, I tell the story about it. at 40 years old, the ego must destroy itself completely. Its beak, pull out all its feathers, you know what I mean? Everything, its nails, everything, to become a new being. It's the highest level. And that's what we're doing right now. I said that in my earlier video. As the moon wanes, sorry, I saw something pop up on my screen. As the moon wanes, we start breaking down everything that we've created so that we can create something new. By the new moon, you should be open to a new experience and it be placed inside of you. When you have too much to think about and too much to deal with, the last thing you need is a new project to start working on. But after you've destroyed all the things you were working on and you filed them away and you have no time, it's like, all right, now it's time to work on something new. And that's where we go through the moon cycles. 13, you can start 13 projects a year if you do this properly, which is working on, the 12 houses of your life. Because each new moon is focusing on a new area of your life to grow. But other areas will leak in. So if you have too much work, you can't work on romance. If you have too much going on with your lover, you don't have enough time for work. What about your kids? What about creativity? What about your inner child? What about devotional time? We create pockets, and they fill the pocket. And then, you fill your pockets up for a month. By the full moon, you're full of it, bro. You had an idea at the new moon, and you made it come real by the full moon. And that was me. I planned all of this by the full moon. So now we take what worked and we start getting rid of all the rest of it. We got what we wanted out of this. Now let's get ready for our next journey. It's like, that's too impulsive. It's not. It's directed. It's coordinated perfectly by the fucking energy outside of us to have such an adventurous life. It's made for that. By the new moon, you should be empty and ready for new inspiration. You should have closed off chapters every month. And then you focus on something new, one new area that changes all areas of your life. You bloom it all the way to the full moon. And you see it in its growth, and then you start trimming it. Like, well, this was beautiful. Let's start taking off the parts that didn't work and keep the idea of what this was. And what was it? You know what I mean? And that's how you work at it. So this area, we were working on our pentacles, our stability, stacking up. Got to that point, right? It peaked. The full moon is the peak. From now on, it just starts to diminish. The idea starts to diminish. You start to lose your ambition for it, and you start letting things go. It's not a bad thing to lose the desire and gain new desire. That's part of being the Knight of Wands. Being a Sagittarius is always up for the adventure. Taking your shot, going after it, enjoying the adventure, and then taking another shot. Yeah? Okay. Let's see. Well, we talked about it. Just as the salmon provides the wisdom and emotional depth that serves as the counterpart to the eagle's cold intellect, and the coldness is like the Queen of Swords. There's the Queen of Cups to the Queen of Swords. Don't think they don't get along. They're just two very different leaders. They lead differently. The Queen of Swords is cutthroat. The Queen of Cups is all full of love, and But their kingdoms are rarely. So too must we find the balanced strength with compassion, mind, and with heart. The eagle soars high above the earth, and flying can be a lonely business. Remember to reconnect to the earth, to renew yourself in cool mountain water. The sun is glorious, but the heat can cause destruction. Seek the wisdom of balance in all things. And that's where it is. I was too much on the ground. And that's where it is you get too much into your mission, into your role, into this project. And you don't see that you're giving it all you got, and you're losing yourself in other areas of your life. And work is definitely an obvious one that you guys need to focus on. You get in there, and that's all that matters. I just got to go to work. That's all I got to do. But is the work you're doing important to the rest of your life, or it's taking from areas of your life? I thought I was doing well, but I wasn't. I was building the same patterned mind. I was going into the patterned mind struct of how I think about work, and that was getting dangerous, because I would have put too much into my work that didn't matter. This is temporary. My real work is this. Really? Yes. So you have to take time, and that's it too, is, you have to see the bigger picture, but also get in the picture. Take action, but also reflect. Do you think that the eagle is flying all day looking for food? No, but it's not on the ground. It only comes down to hunt. So what is it doing the whole time? Is it chasing the whole time? Or it's just reflecting and taking in, you know what I mean? Taking in space. It can eat wherever it goes. It will find food wherever it goes. It doesn't need to be, there's not a place for it. It has a nest, but it doesn't hoard food. There's food to be found tomorrow. Really? You can learn a lot from the animals. And if I wasn't going to go back into the sky and I wanted to stay, that would be the way to stay. You would pray to be, such an animal in your next life. Next life, I would like the honor of being an eagle, to fly above, to deliver the messages, to see the world from the highest perspective. Really? Some people are like to be a fly on the wall. It's honorable to be human, but the human experience is the plunge. Because once you jump on the fucking, you can't get out of the experience until you fully experienced it. I guess it's the same with the animal kingdom as you move through it. As the shapeshifter, I like it. Really? Yeah, and that's what this is about. It's like I have to make the choices to show you that it's safe to make the choices. And I shared that yesterday. I'm going to be the reason that people give God a try. After all this, when it's all said and done, they'll see the story and they're like, wow, you'll believe in God through my story. And that's the point. That's all I do, is believe in God, and I teach you that it's safe to believe in God, and I show you how He speaks to us. I teach you God the Father, God the Son, and especially, most importantly, God the Holy Spirit above all things, the Spirit of God in all things. I don't know what fucking the Holy Spirit is trying to tell me about, trees come to Christ moment. There is protection in Christianity, but to be Christ-like, it's one thing to speak it, it's a whole nother thing to become it. And that's what I really teach you here, is I'm not teaching you, I don't sit here and read you all His stories about everything. I tell you about His stories, but I tell you what it means to be Christ-like, to walk with kindness, forgiveness, understanding, and compassion. To have that about all things. And in order to have that, you must face all of the dark things first of your life and apply it to that. You can't just walk out and be Christ-like. You have to apply Christ to every part of your life in order to be that. You have to incorporate that into your life. Realistically, yeah. You know what I mean? So on the surface, it looks like, another version of, oh, I'm going to do what she's doing, and I'm going to try to spread this great word of, because they see, and that's what I told Bobby, it's like, I'm famous because I did do this. I'm the only one that has. You can start now, but you're not going to be better than me, and you're not going to take my job, and you're not going to be me. You will never have this connection with God because you're still trying to compete with a person like me, thinking that I am a person. Not seeing what I am here to do. You're like, oh, I could be her. That's what you think. You think it's of the flesh. The things that I do in the 3D, you think that's what makes me. It comes from something bigger. So the best that, He could possibly do is teach people the word of Christ. But because He hasn't given Himself to Christ in an orthodox way that a man must in order to be a priest, He has no authority or power. He left spirituality and He walks in the in-between just as Mike does, trying to be a rapper, a spiritual rapper. Yeah, you sound like every one of those terrible songs that they're playing on 107.1. Can't walk in the in-between. You praise God by how you live, not the shit that comes out of your mouth. The shit that comes out of your mouth is just confirmation to the way you live your life, bro. And what's understood doesn't need to be explained. So you could walk around and tell everybody, you know what I mean, like Daddy Yankee, oh, I gave my life to God, I gave my life to God, I gave my life to God. But then you come out with a song talking about, I saw it yesterday, you pop out with a song, I'm coming for you. Coming for you, bro. What did you just do? He came out with a song called Judas and Jezebel. Are you judging? Or are you in that song bringing forgiveness to people that they do not understand? Or have you become a Christian that fast? Where you think you're above a girl that uses her body for love, or a man that'll do anything for a bit of pride? I'm sorry, what skills did your wife have? And what did you do to become successful? That's why people don't like Christians. Because they're fucking hypocrites. Russ is a fucking hypocrite trying to make out songs, oh, I'm not going to let the devil get me, or and I'm about manifesting and I'm about the positivity, but your life is absolutely, you know what I mean? You can't convince us based on the way you live your life. And that's where it is. Give them time and watch them. Watch them convert. Watch what their conversion is. Is it kindness, forgiveness, compassion, and understanding that you said, Daddy Yankee, in that song? Now keep in mind my Spanish isn't that well, so I'll have to be an asshole and go find someone that translates this stupid song. But just the knowing that you thought it was cool to talk about Queen Jezebel and Judas. A man that sold out his best friend for a couple of coins and couldn't deal with the guilt of it and hung himself. A woman that gave up her God, who gave up her understanding of God for the love of a man. That's what you don't get about Queen Jezebel. She was a Phoenician queen. She praised all gods, but she gave all of that up to be the fucking concubine of this bastard. And because she wouldn't fully give up her practices, they destroyed her. They called her all of those things. What did they call Mary Magdalene, Jesus' holy bride? A fucking prostitute? What about your bitch? What is she, a fucking prostitute, or are you the prostitute? Very Christian of you. Very Christian indeed. Realistically, yeah. We've been talking a lot about these false gurus and stuff, and it's like the leadership and the authority comes by the actual actions. You out street preaching, or you just out on a fucking mic trying to fucking make yourself bigger? You're trying to get on a show, trying to sell a ticket to your next fucking what? Wonder. Listen here, Wonder Boy, are you still working at your dad's moving company? Are you still under the covering? Are you still living in the nest? And how are you such a Christ-like man when you've abandoned your fucking child and their mother again? Yeah, where's she? Where's your baby mama and your baby? Well, you're over here again, chasing a music career in the name of Christ. Oh, am I talking to fucking NF? Are you chasing a music career in the name of Christ, abandoning your children at home with the real man of the house? It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Let's see what let's see what the energy has. Oh, you thought you was fucking around with a fucking Target worker? You forgot who I was? You forgot what I was and what I'm here to do? Because I was out making a couple paychecks. You forgot who was here? Yeah. Card fell out. Nine of Wands. Still? Nope. Let's keep going. That's what the whole Nine of Wands is. Keep going. You've been looking for love in the wrong... I'm not looking for love. These motherfuckers right here. Lord, have mercy on our souls. What's today bring? God? Me. Hey, we pulled that yesterday. Really? Alright, what's the spiritual work at hand? Oh, God damn it. Holy shit. Balance your fire, girlfriend. That's what I heard. Really? Yes. Use your magic. Manifestations of the fire. Don't be a tyrant. What's the outcome? Oh. King of Wands. Could be a divine couple. I don't see anybody in this picture but me. My femininity, my masculinity, and my little hurt feelings. Could be you. Let's talk about the Queen. I went to the Queen of Pentacles. You. I heard, is that Soldier Boy? You. Is that what you were meant to say and he didn't hear it? He didn't get the message? You. Soldier Boy, I'm with it. Oh. It's a thirsty Thursday. Oh, I went to the Four of Cups. Should we start with the discontent? Fine. Let's talk about your unhappiness. The Four of Cups represents a lack of emotional fulfillment. You are dissatisfied with your life. You may feel bored and uninspired at work. Then quit. It'll get real exciting real fast. You have no faith. You have no confidence you can get another job. You're so stupid. Quit your job and let's hang out. Realistically, no, I can't do much. My belly hurts. I didn't take the day off to have fun. It hurts. I have tomorrow off and Saturday. What do you want to do tomorrow? Deal with shadows. Today's the best day to do something stupid, because then you're going to really have to do it tomorrow. The energy's ripe. Really? Yeah. I don't know. What's wrong? You feel bored and uninspired at work. There may be unspoken resentments with the relationship. I really thought he was going to say something. I only called him because this card said he was going to talk shit to me and set me straight. So, all right, say something. That was not exactly what I thought. What are you expecting him to say? I don't know. It'd be nice if one of you stood up for yourselves. That would be intriguing. I've said a lot of mean things to him. Do I mean it? I mean, in the heat of a moment. Like, yeah, this sucks and that sucks and you suck. None of it matters. That's what really sucks. It's just all surface level shit. It doesn't change how I love him. They're just all reasons why I don't want to. This is the last thing I said to Wolfman. You need some fucking chapstick. That's all you could come up with at that moment. I was looking at his very chapped lips. I was like, ugh. What if I had to kiss you? Don't touch me. You're so petty. Tom Petty, bro. Tom Petty. You might be generally unwell or depressed. Could be. It is tempting to try to relive this disappointment with an affair. No, I'm not having another affair with you. Excessive indulgence in pleasures, but it will soon pall and you will be disgusted with yourself. You remember the first time? That's exactly what happened. You got off top. You went and put your clothes on. You're like, what'd you say? I'm such a piece of shit. That's what you said. That's what you get. Every time you come near me, you end up feeling like a piece of shit. I don't. I feel very powerful, to be honest. You gotta go home and live your piece of shit life and pretend like none of that happened and hide it. How do you hide it? Do you just go home and take a how'd you hide the lipstick? She know. What'd you do? I forgot to give you the wipes. I told you. I totally told you, bro. I was like, oh. I thought about it like a day later. It's like, oh, the lipstick. Are you disgusted with yourself? Do you hate yourself for not loving yourself enough? Are you mad at yourself because you can't love your wife this way? You can't make yourself feel something for someone you don't feel. Trust me, dude. I've been trying to feel this way with other people, too. I don't go doing all that, though. I guess I do. I've been trying to marry another motherfucker all the time. Moving on. I told you, you disgust me. It's fun while it's going on, but then afterwards you gotta sit there and be like, oh, I'm such a piece of shit. You really are. How do you face your children after that? Do you kiss them after what we've done? What about the perfume? I know I smell delicious. How do you not go home smelling like that? That's why I don't hear from him forever. I'll be over here like, I fucked him again. Fuck that guy's world up again. So it's like, nah, I'm not. Nah. I mean, it's fun. That's what I said. I don't mind fucking you because I need the experience. But it's not going anywhere. It's not like you're going to give me a baby or something. I didn't say that, but I did say the first part. I don't mind fucking you because I need the experience. I need the experience, don't you think? I need to know this experience. I need to have this experience. I'd rather do it with someone I trust. You are out of touch with reality, indulging in fantasies, focusing so hard on your disappointments that you are turning your back on the cup of happiness that is already present. Every day tell yourself 3 things you're grateful for, such as your children, your friends, being alive in this moment, and able to feel the sun on your face. What am I grateful for? I'm so grateful that I cleaned my house. It's grateful. I'm grateful for that. I am grateful for my future, my past, and my present. Really? Yeah, I'm grateful for today. I don't even know what today brings. I mean, I have an appointment today, and that's great. But otherwise, I'm grateful for today. I'm grateful for every day. I'm grateful for yesterday and what tomorrow will bring, even though it's a Friday and it's going to bring towers, and that's going to be hard. I'm grateful for the hard times because it makes me better. I'm grateful for everything. Really? I'll just be kind of talking shit a lot. God damn it, God. I'm still grateful. It's just the flesh. I was a great many things, dude. Do you know that I fled man for God? As Lilith, I left this whole experience to go back to God. I didn't want to be part of it. I went right back into the tree of life. I couldn't get all the way back to God, but I got to the cherubim. Then he kicked me back. He kept bringing me back to this experience. He wanted me to have this experience. But he couldn't get me to because I just kept flying back to God. Why do I leave you? To go back to God. I don't leave you for a man. I leave everything to go to God. I leave this job. I leave this house. I leave this person. I leave everything for God. My attachment is to God. It's the story. I don't understand why he couldn't fly. I guess it was my infinite nature. I don't know. I don't understand how he made myself and Adam the same, but yet we're so fucking not. We were made up of the same things. We just harnessed it different, I suppose. You look at Adam, what a loser. And what you think Lucifer was. The mind, bro, I think. I don't know. And the mind, I just never had the mind, I suppose. Minded my own business. But that was what it is. No, I'm not laying with you. And so I left. But I couldn't leave the whole experience fully, but I tried. And I would go back to God. I would go back into, you know what I mean? The tree of life and back into, you know, the layers of the divine. I stayed within the divine, but he kept casting me down to even the depths of the sea. I shall cast her into the Red Sea. What the fuck do you want me to do down here? Realistically, it's like, what the fuck did you put me here for? It doesn't matter where he puts me. Realistically, yeah, because I'm still here. I'm still with him. I just want to point that out. And at the bottom of this, it says right here, he cursed the boy with one of 3 curses he had received from Poseidon. You're cursed to the Red Sea. I'm just saying, whatever. What are you grateful for? This card tells you that it's time to ground yourself, go within, reconnect with the Ace of Cups, and find your purpose again. The Ace of Cups is love. Tap into your heart, which is what you love. Find some love for yourself. Take the day off. Like I did. Why did I do that? Because I love myself. Because I had to take care of myself physically. Sometimes it's mentally. Sometimes it's emotionally, bro. Who's going to take care of you? You're only going to get more physically unwell, more emotionally unwell, or more mentally unwell until you take this time to deal with your wellness. You're not going to get better if you don't take time to make yourself better. How did I get better? I took every day. Every day, one day at a time, I would focus as God would give me the thoughts. He would give me back my memories. Terrible, horrible memories, but he would give me my memories so I could focus on things that were holding me back of making decisions in my current reality. Why can't you talk to this guy? Because of things like this. Well, you need to deal with things like that so that it's not holding you back from talking to guys. Simple shit like that. I had a lot wrong with me, and so it took a lot of time with me to understand. First, I had to understand what was wrong with me, where it came from, and love myself better. Like, give myself the love to become better. And that's the Christ. It's like I would see parts of my life that were really fucked up, and what made me all fucked up, you know, how I'm mean and cold and cut off now, I'd see where this came from. And the choice is to hold on to this anger and this hurt, now that I know where it came from, or to have some compassion and try to have some more understanding as to why things went that way, and try to have some forgiveness, put some kindness on it, and a lot of love towards the person that harmed me or whatever the situation was, and towards myself. And when I do that, you know, I've healed a part of me that makes me able to make different decisions going forward. Like something like this held me back. Really? Yeah. Right now I'm seeing the fucking dick pic. Why the fuck did you do that? Realistically, I mean, I guess every woman was always going to get one, but he decides to send me a dick pic, and it just sent me into chaos. And that's it. It's like, I knew this would happen. That one day somebody'd pull their dick out and I'd just start crying. So luckily it wasn't a person, but I still had to face it. You know, shit like that. So like on days like this, and especially a Friday, any day that God says he's going to put some harsh things in front of you to deal with, and you're going to need to put some Christ on that shit. You're going to have to go back to wherever this stems from, this bothersome feeling, this anger, this pain, this fear. Find out where this all comes from and start healing yourself from that moment on. Shadows are just parts of us that we've long forgotten that hurt and that we hide. You can only see them when you take time to see them. And you don't want to see yourself hurting, and you don't want to feel it, but it still stays there. You still stay hurt and filled with all that pain without seeing it. That was the awakening. God wakes me up to my pain through people, places, and things. And though I don't want to, it's important, because without seeing it, I don't know that it's holding me back. I can see that how, because of this that happened, how I have these behaviors that are self-sabotaging now. Really? So that's why, you know, grounding yourself and going within is like the more time you sit with yourself and you let your mind, you know, pour itself out, let the fears, let the anger, let the sadness, let all of it out. That's the going within, because you're just inside of yourself, listening to yourself. You got to pour it out, though, to hear it. Write it down. Give it a voice so that the voice inside comes out. Reconnect with the Ace of Cups. That's your love. Pour some love on it. Like, man, that is fucked up. If you don't feel sorry for yourself, you're always going to walk around with this self-pity. You have to acknowledge why you hurt and show yourself that it is okay to hurt, but you're okay now, and give yourself that time to hurt. It's like, you know, you walk around, I'm fine, but you're not. And you keep this hard attitude instead of just saying one day and just saying, you know, I've never been fine. I walk around and I tell everybody I'm fine, but I'm not fine. And that's where the universe is like, only took you 13 years to realize that you was hurting about something. You're only lying to yourself. Everybody else can see you're not fine. And that's why they keep asking you. They keep hoping that one day you're going to recognize something's wrong. When you're ready to face what's wrong inside, you'll feel better about it. Just saying, I don't feel good inside. That's a huge part. That's you honoring your heart. Your heart has feelings. It's holding on to shit. You start letting your heart out, and it starts breathing a lot better. It's heard now. That's all the inner child is. That's all those feelings are and those thoughts. They want to be heard. A lot of it will turn into negativity and revenge, where you run at somebody and you're like, you fucking did this, and you did this, and you made me feel like this, and you fucking ruined my life, and you have no idea. That's that part. You want to be heard about what you feel about someone's actions. It's in you to want to run to that person or anybody so they understand you. But really, this is about you understanding you. Because they're really, you can tell them a million times, and that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to paint this picture of where your feelings are coming from. I just feel fucked up about the whole situation. Well, what happened? What had happened was, and you're not telling the whole story, you're only telling it from your feeling. so that they can emphasize, you can emphasize and they can empathize with how you're feeling. But you're not telling the whole picture of how this hurt the other person too, and what made them say, and you're not doing all that. But when you're by yourself and you're not trying to tell someone about your feelings, but you're trying to discover where they came from, you see the bigger picture. So it's connecting with your feelings. That's that heart. And it's having love for yourself, hearing yourself, writing it down, not making a song and telling everybody about it and trying to get them to connect with your feelings, but just you. Because that's all that matters, is that you know how you're feeling, where they came from, and how to bring peace to them. Not you running to someone else, telling them where they came from, and them bringing peace to how you feel, which is basically them telling you what you need to. I know where you're coming from, and you have every right to feel that way. But we can't feel that way forever. And what about how they feel? The feelings become so consuming that you forget that everyone has feelings, and that everyone felt some way about what you got caught up in. The people that were, when you go to a school, like it's even my kids, right? My daughter, that situation, those kids, the girl was just jealous because her boyfriend liked my daughter. So she made this big problem, and then she said she was going to jump her, and she got her brother in this, all over jealousy. She didn't think about how it was making my daughter feel, how all the kids were feeling, how everybody else was feeling. She only felt her jealousy. And her jealousy took her to a place where, look at what happened. And how all of us had all these feelings, but it all stemmed from her own feelings of jealousy between her and her boyfriend. That had nothing to do with my daughter, but ended up being enormous in school, where she lost her ability to go to school. Her brother went to fucking jail. She lost her friend, her boyfriend, her school. It caused all kinds of shit. All because they couldn't just recognize that she was jealous. If somebody could have talked to her and said that, you don't have to be jealous of that girl, your best friend, or there's other boys, it wouldn't have gone this way. But nobody heard her jealousy and how far it went. And it was insecurity. Why do you like her and not me? None of it happened, bro. And that goes back to whatever the fuck happened in this building last week. Whatever that girl had built up in her, she took that shit out on me. Her racist, her prejudice, her injustice towards, I guess, what she thought was a white girl, which is me, versus what she thought were her people, or whatever she thought, bro. Wherever that came from had nothing to do with me. She said that I had an injustice, or that I was being unjust to races, and that I was prejudiced, and she took it far enough to say I told them to go back to their country. None of that came from me. And nobody's questioning why this woman, and it's a woman, she's over the age of 18, you're a grown-ass woman, why she went to all lengths to get me kicked out of this building. I had nothing to do with whatever was wrong with her. But she projected it that I was a bad person, and I was a racist, and I was this, and I was being rude to my neighbors. And I told them, no, you just showed everyone how you think and how you talk and what you believe, because none of that was me. And that's what happened there. And it's the projection of yourself outside of yourself. You're putting it on someone else. The reverse meaning. You've been feeling pretty negative, living in a world of your own, perhaps hiding in your room, distracting yourself with TV and internet, drinking or drugs. There is a dawning realization that this is doing you no good. What is it that made you withdraw? What do you need to change to stop you feeling like this again? And that's your self-coping mechanisms. What do you do when things get rough and, you know what I mean? You run away like this, or you just thug it out? What do you do during disappointing, you know what I mean? Let's talk about the fire, and I'm gonna move on. What do I got going on? Nothing. My belly hurts. Really? Yeah. Yeah. I wasn't always like this, guys. Like, I lived a very unhappy life too, and I just kept pushing through, and nobody ever told me that I could do something different with my life. Nobody showed me. I had nobody to guide me. And so the Spirit guides me, and I teach you. You can take control again. It doesn't matter how old you are or how young you are. It is your life, and nobody can. They're going to tell you how to live it with the best, sometimes with the best intentions, but it's not always. It's your decisions. There's been many times where I'm sitting there asking God what to do. I don't want to make the wrong choice. They're just choices that we make every day. There's no such thing as a wrong choice. You learn what this choice will bring, and then later, if you didn't like how it worked out, you'll be presented with the same choice again. Really? But you have to do something. Doing nothing is accepting the way things are. You can't expect that, you're using that, oh, well, if God wants something better, he'll bring something better. Who the fuck are you? That's not how it works. You've got to go out and discover the better. He'll give you the strength to be better, to create better. You're the creator. He gives you the inspiration. What do you do with it? You just sit there and talk yourself off. Oh, no, I can't do that because of this. That's pessimism. That's a lack of confidence. That's you're lacking faith, vision, drive. But you can't just run with every idea. The Queen of Wands is a positive card in the deck and heralds bright and fertile phase in your life because your creative powers are at full flood. Now could be a time when you create your masterpiece, whatever form it takes. You feel safe, self-assured, and optimistic. I'm not always sure, but I have all the confirmation outside of me where I teach the mind that you did well. I know that you didn't trust this, but look, all the signs say that we did the right thing. Good job. You don't have to be afraid. Everything's going to be okay. Because the mind doesn't know, and especially after a tower. It's like, oh, I regret that completely. You have to reinforce it with love. No, you were strong. You did the right thing. Everything's going to be okay. You have to keep restructuring the mind into positivity. Otherwise, it starts worrying, and you're in a negative place. Your energy is based on your mindset, bro. It sends the electricity through your body of the feelers. It sends feelings through your body. Really? A good example is shock, right? Your body can go into shock. So like people can, hypothermia, for example. They don't know they're dying. They don't know they're freezing. They know they're cold, but they don't know they're literally dying. Same thing with heat stroke. They know they're hot. They can feel hot, but they don't know they're dying. Why? Because the brain hasn't told them. But if somebody looks at them and says, dude, you're bleeding, your nose is bleeding, they don't know. You know what I mean? It's like only then. Like if you tell a kid that they have an owie, then they start crying because they can feel it. They can't feel it until they can see it. Then the brain tells them they're hurt. So I'm a good example. When I lost my, the dissociated amnesia from my personality disorder, I didn't know I was hurt because I didn't have the thoughts. I didn't know how I felt until I saw how I felt. Your feelings are in your thoughts, right? So like you could have a big ass cut on your leg and be bleeding like crazy. Until you see it, you don't know how bad it hurts. And that's kind of what happened to me. Like when I cut my leg over here, I could feel the blood running down. I was like, I thought I just banged it. But then I felt the blood and I looked down. I was like, oh, I cut myself. It hurts. Did it hurt until then? Not until I saw it. Really? Yeah. Just want to point that out. Feelings and shit. You feel self-assured, optimistic, know exactly where you're going, and feel strong enough to get there. Whatever obstacle lies in your way, you will deal with it. Because God's creating the obstacles, but He's taking me through the obstacle course. How do you get to this place? Trust. Again, my brain knows God's real. It's seen Him. I've trained my brain, and I try to train yours to see God, to know that that ego, the brain was like, okay, the brain knows what the ego means. I've taught it to know that that's full confirmation. We are at the highest level. We can't go any higher. We've done everything right. That is the highest level of our spirituality. We can't get any higher. There's nothing higher than the ego. We've done everything right. Now we sit here and wait for our new, and I've taught it that. The brain's always freaking out. What are we supposed to do? We're supposed to be waiting on God. This is what we do, remember? I'm bored. Okay, what can I do for you? You learn to, work with yourself. It's the spirit telling the brain. The Queen of Wands may be a woman in your life like me, boss, lover, teacher, friend. I am strong, focused leader who's not afraid to use my power, attracting others with my positive energy, vision, passion, and brilliant organizational skills. Really? Yeah. I'm good-hearted and friendly, always honest, sincere, well-meaning, and fiercely loyal. However, I'm more than fiery, and I will lose my temper if you get on my bad side. But then I instantly forget it and give you a hug. However, I'm not invincible, and I burn myself out with my many projects. All right, the opposite, and this is where it is, your solar plexus, your sun, and you've lost your confidence. Even if you give the impression otherwise, you've recently lost your confidence in yourself and feel as though your inner fire has been doused. Perhaps you've been so busy that you've burned out, or you're ill. Don't try to make yourself better by putting other people down because it won't work. The reverse queen may be a person in your life, or a boss, or a colleague, friend, mother, or lover. Bitter experiences have made them self-important and self-centered, determined to get their own way by whatever means necessary. As much as I say this is Lewis. He's lost his confidence. His bitter experiences has made him more self-important and self-centered, and he's going to do whatever it takes to get, what he wants out of this. He can be spiteful, manipulative, interfering, demanding, tactless, bad-tempered, or domineering if he doesn't get a hold of this and realize it's just a mindset. Lewis, you don't want it any more than anyone else. It's your pride that's making it hurt. And then you look at George Russell. We watched him for 3 years push a fucking losing car in hopes of one day he'll get in a winning car. And now look at him. He got your seat. You gave it to him. He would have always had to come second to you. But you thought you were going to be fucking first in Ferrari. Why did you do it? Because Mercedes were having a couple of hard times. Now look at what you did. They figured it out quite quickly. It's just terrible. And it doesn't mean that he gets paid anymore. It's all based on pride. This hurts his pride, bro, to be a loser. But he doesn't realize how many people lose every race along with him. It's all in his head. No, I have to win. Who says you have to win? That's like how many people drove that fucking Ferrari and didn't win. I'm seeing Kimmy. My drink. I just need my drink. If they couldn't get the drink right, what do you think they're going to get the car right? An unpleasant atmosphere surrounds them, and they resent anyone's success but their own, though their behavior means they're unlikely to be successful. Cross them in any way, and they will not rest until they get their revenge. Page 71. I don't know. He's not really vengeful. He's just hurt. It's all coming from a hurt place. You could just quit and move on and do something better with your fucking life. It's not an option. Why is it not an option? Nobody ever thought about it, huh? I guess. Who am I seeing? James Hunt. He thought about it. One and done. He went on and enjoyed his life. What did Nikki say? Last time I saw him, he was pushing a bike barefoot, a flat bike barefoot down the street. That's it. What, was he supposed to be riding in fame forever? It's just an experience. It was good while it lasted, but nobody stays at the top forever, buddy. I don't know. Let's go to the King of Wands, which only gets worse in the negative. It can indicate a beginning. When the King of Wands appears, it brings an opportunity to take up a challenge, be assertive, and don't doubt your abilities. You have the skills and experience you need. All I need going forward is faith, and I have that. I don't need anything to get me there. I'm already going there. The only thing that I need to get me there, or to keep me going, is faith. Listening to God and doing what He says. That's all I got to do to make it through life comfortably. Now, what He tells me to do is not easy. It's simple, but it goes against my understanding and the understanding of the people outside of me. So it's, it's kind of crazy, is what we would think, because it goes against our understanding of what a normal person should do. But I don't live a normal life, and He takes care of me and gives me a better life not being normal. Kings also concern motivation, and this one calls on you to develop the fiery part of your nature linked to altruism, idealism, warmth of being, impulsiveness, and originality. It's like, I look impulsive, but it's not. It's not an impulse. I mean, I guess it is. It's a feeling. It's a gut feeling that I have to go with. But I explain to you where it's coming from and the logic behind it. It's like, I know logically through my mind, this didn't come from my mind, it's coming from my heart, and this is why. I know the bigger picture, but this isn't going to look so good when I make this decision. But it's a decision that must be made in order for me to proceed further. Really? Yeah, and I'm so glad. My tummy hurts real bad. Really? Yeah, can you hear me wiggling and stuff? Like my legs and everything. I can't get comfortable. Lead your life with vision and long-term view. The influence of the King of Wands, and that's where it is. What's the next thing? I just got to be brave and go buy a computer. Show God that I believe Him. I trust you, God. I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do with this thing, but here it is. Show me the way now. That's what it means, bro. He tells you to do some stupid shit. What the fuck are you going to do? I don't know. He told me to get a computer, and then He'll give me a job to go with it. I have to do what He says, even with no knowing. It's not impossible. But I have to take the step. That's the step. Do that. Show Him. Really? Yeah. And that's all I told them, too. And that's what they said, too, is what's your long-term goal? I'm going to purchase a computer and find a work-at-home job. I have to do what I said I was going to do, even though I don't know how I'm going to do it. This is the beginning. I'm going to be a priestess and save the world. But I don't know how, but I'm going to do this. Look at me now, a whole priestess about to save the world. That's just it. From what? My computer. I need a computer for all of this, realistically. He has a plan. I just don't know what the fuck he's planning. I was planning on going to work and pushing a cart. He said, take it easy with that idea. Logically speaking, bitch, you should be at work. He's got other work. Am I not working? This is work. I'm not laid up in bed. What the fuck? This is what I do. This is my career. Can you do this? No, you cannot. You could read tarot, but never like I do. Why? Because you don't know. Anyways, going back to me. The King of Wands is felt through an actual person in your life. I am a mature, the manly side of me is honest, dynamic, noble, energetic, compassionate, and I can't say the word. Why can't you say it? I don't know. I can see it. Can't say it this time. While someone else is just thinking about it, I can get the whole thing done, whatever it is. I am a charismatic leader who is able to get the best out of others, encouraging them to share their views and explore their creativity, but I won't tolerate people that fall short of my standards. Because of this, I can sometimes be aggressive in my pursuit of my goals, and I will be fiery if crossed. Really? In a relationship, I am fun and exciting to be with. I am a strong partner, and I will resent anyone that's clingy or restrictive. Don't tell me what to do. I don't listen to you. And the second you do, I'm going to resent you for the fact that you thought you were going to tell me what to do. You're not my father. I have one Father, who art in heaven. He's the only thing I listen to. You must understand that. He will send His messengers, and I will consider their message, but I still go back to Him, and that's where it is. Don't ever do this to me. You can ask me kindly, hey, I really need to know if you could do this for me. Fine. Don't tell me, hey, I need you to do this for me. You have a need and I have to do? Wait a minute, what are you talking about? It's the force. Don't anybody do that to me. Don't tell me how to live. Don't tell me what to do. Don't tell me what to eat. You can suggestively suggest. You know what I mean? Like, kindly suggest something. But if you fucking tell me, I'm going to resent you just for the fact of how you talk to me. You don't tell me what to do. Nobody tells me what to do. It has nothing to do with Lisa. This is Lilith. I shall not be told by nobody but God. I listen to nobody but God. You have no power of authority over my life. And the fact that you try to exert it was going to make me turn against you. I will take into your life, I will take all things into consideration by the delivery. But once you put force upon me, dude, I'm going to force you out of my life. I'm serious. Clingy. I can tell when someone's being manipulative. When you're trying to get me, you're trying to coerce me, you're trying to get me to do something instead of just asking. Something simplistic. I pulled up to the store and she's like, I remember this moment. Why didn't you just be honest, you fucking cunt? She's like, I need a pack of cigarettes, but I don't know enough. I don't think I have enough. I don't know how much they cost. You're a fucking liar. You know how much your cigarettes cost and you know you don't have enough. Just tell me. Could you help me out with a pack of cigarettes? I don't have enough. Don't manipulate me. Don't play stupid. Just ask me. And don't fucking manipulate me. Hey, I gave you my last cigarette, so you think you could help me out with buying a pack of cigarettes? Don't be like, oh, I gave to you, so now you owe me. Don't manipulate me. Just ask and it shall be given. I rarely say no, and if I do say no, it's because God said no. I don't like to be like, I don't like the irritating feeling of you not liking me because I said no to you. It doesn't mean I'll always say yes. But it's just don't try to manipulate me or try to coerce me or try to restrict me or tell me to do something. I won't. I'll hate you for it. I'll hate you for the idea that you thought you could talk to me like that. Something so simplistic, it can be ruined in words. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. Don't tell me anything. I don't like to be talked to like that. Really? Yeah. And that could be the ultracism or whatever. It's like, you know what I mean? It's the same thing, like, you're not going to fucking talk to Cardi B a certain way. You know this is going to pop off. If you fucking approach Eminem a certain way, something bad might happen. You talk to Kanye the wrong way, something bad might happen. Watch how you talk to people like us. We're kind, we're loving, we're respectful, we're loyal, we're attentive listeners, we're really there. But if you say the wrong fucking thing, you talk to us, try to impose your fucking beliefs or your words upon us like there's some kind of power, you're going to see what true power is. Really? Yeah, it's just a force, bro. Don't do that to people that have fire in them like that. I'm a great partner, but I will fucking resent anyone that tries to limit me or control me. I'm never doing anything bad. You're welcome to see everything I do, but you don't tell me I can't do that or I should. You know what I mean? You could say, oh, I'm scared of that. Okay, I'll take into consideration that you're a scary person and you wouldn't do what I'm about to do. But you don't fucking put that fear on me that I can't do what you're afraid of. I would never wear that. So, that's your fear. You're going to go out like that? I'm going all the way out like that. And if you say another thing, I'm going to make it look even louder. Because you're afraid of being seen. You're afraid of the attention. And that's really what it is. It's always somebody's fucking fear. Oh, you probably shouldn't go there. Why? Oh, somebody got shot there. Oh, are you afraid? I can't do what you're afraid of? That's usually what it comes down to, that clinginess. You don't want me to go hang out with him? Why? You don't think I can handle it? You don't think God's with me? You don't think Pac's with me? Or you're not with me and you don't, you know what I mean? Because you're not with me, you don't know how your slimy friend's going to be around me. Why is he your friend then? Why'd you bring the slime here? You didn't want to slip in and slide in? Just saying. If I am forced to live a dull life, I will quickly become bored and depressed. Meaning, oh, just stay here, just do this, just do that. Just a dull, it doesn't mean I can sit around and do nothing all fucking day but stare into the sky. That might be dull to you. But I mean, dull means always living by ritual, always living by the clock, always doing the same thing. Dull means repetitive. If I'm asked to live a repetitive life, I will become bored and depressed. We don't have to always be doing something. As long as we're not doing the same thing over and over, that's fine. Really? Yeah. Spontaneity, a little bit of excitement. You know what I mean? We're not going to do this every Friday night. We're not going to eat the same fucking meal all the fucking time. We've got to change. Change is good. It's exciting. I know that tasted bad, but at least we tried it. We could say we tried it. You ever had sushi? Really? You know what I mean? Something like that. I don't eat bugs. Oh, you're gonna eat a cockroach today. No, I'm not, cockroach. Just weird stuff like that. Really, yeah. The reversed in your spread, expect encounters of encountered blocks, red tape, and difficulty standing in the way of progress. Expect this. Expect the unexpected. Why? Because they said 10 days of chaos, which started today. I told you it started a couple days for me, obviously. That just means that there's things that are getting, and that's why I said this wasn't supposed to happen. Every time I talk to fucking Bobby, I'm on the verge of quitting a job or walking away from him. It's like, really? Yeah, it happens all the time. But that's what you don't know, is I could call Caleb right now and go ring a bell and make the same amount of money and get paid in a week. Caleb still has, I'm still on call to that job. I didn't fucking quit it. It's just that I'm giving Target everything. Don't play with me. You don't know about my money and my situations and what I can and cannot do based on your understanding of my life. And that's not it. I could call, you know what I mean? All right, it's 65 degrees right now, but if I wanted to put in a snowstorm and get me some fucking $22 an hour pushing a shovel type job, best I could do it. I can do whatever God says I can do. But I got to do what God says. Don't think that I'm limited to this is the only way I can make money. Money falls from the fucking sky around here. If that's what we need. And you think that money is all you need. Nah, bro, you need a life. That money ain't giving you life. That money ain't going to give you a better wife, a husband. It's not nothing. It's not going to make your kids happy, bro. I told my daughter this morning, I was like, don't worry about any of this. I was like, next week's check is, I'm going to give it all to Christmas. It's about a $700 check. That'll take care of yours, mine, and his. He's like, well, if you're going to do that, why don't we just buy something big for the house? I was like, what? Just like a VR headset. Then we could both use it. We both want one. And then she's like, nah, but they have pedophiles and somebody might something. And I know people be using those for like sex and shit. So that got in my head way too fast. But in the bigger picture, if I would have said that to to my son, who's all material based, he'd been like, oh, I get $700 to my, he wouldn't have seen it as a bigger picture. But even that money doesn't make them bigger. It doesn't make them think any harder about what will make them happy. They really don't know. It doesn't change anything. You guys think that if you can give these kids, this fucking new, and that's what my son asked me. I cannot believe he asked me for that. He asked me that last night. All right, forget that. Forget the PC. Just get me an iPhone. I was like, yeah, but then you're going to need a new one every year. You're pinning me into bullshit. But again, he's been asking me for an iPhone for every year since he was like, I don't know. So maybe I get him that. It makes more sense than a fucking PC when I'm about to buy one. Really? Yeah. And that's just it. It's like you guys think that, if you bring home all this money, they're happy. I learned this when I was 15, bro. I was in love with my first husband. And it wasn't because he had money, but it was nice because I came from a poor house, so we got to spend, and that was something different to me. And he thought if he just came home with a bunch of money, I'd be happy. And as long as he left me with, a bunch of money, I'd be happy. But I didn't know what to do with it. And it didn't bring me happiness. I just wanted to hang out with him. Yeah, we could spend the money, or we could just sit here and do nothing. He didn't smoke weed. He stopped that when we were teenagers, so I would smoke weed. I think he smoked cigarettes. Maybe he didn't. He would cold turkey all the time. Sometimes he did, sometimes he didn't. Right? He didn't nothing, but we would just hang out. I can even remember being like my daughter. Like, we'd be in the house, and he'd be sitting there listening to music, and I'd go in the other room, and I'd just start dancing. And he's in the room, doing something, reading a book or something with the kids and stuff. I was like, I just wanted his company. I didn't want his money. And that's what we believe later. He brought that into me that, we could take out into the streets and be gone for 4 or 5 days as long as we came home and the kids could buy whatever they want. They understood why we were gone. But then later it's like, I never had that money, so those kids were raised on that idea that, of how important money was and what it could bring to them. My older kids were very materialistic. These ones, not so much. They don't care. My daughter doesn't care that I have money. I can offer, but she don't want shit. It's not like, oh, I'm so glad. You know what I mean? It doesn't make her happy. And it doesn't make more people happy. It eliminates the things that make you worried, but it doesn't bring you happiness. So be very careful with this, you guys. Money isn't the root of all evil, but it definitely doesn't bring happiness. It brings a sense of security, depending on what area of your life you're feeling insecure. No amount of money that Bobby's making, bro, is making his relationship better. And that's what he does. That's all he does. He works and works and works. That's all he does. It's not making anything better. And last time I talked to him, it's taking a toll on his body. Whatever. It sucks. For everybody in this situation. How do you break the poverty mindset? That took me years of lots of crying, bro. It's hard. I came from poverty. So to break that mindset, oh God, it hurts. And that's exactly what makes me want to work. You know, yesterday, it wasn't that. It was the back of my mind that I have to do this because I'm programmed that if I don't work, something bad will happen. What does it come from? Not having money. But that's not where it's connected anymore. I know that the money isn't important, but it's still, the mindset is still there, and it gets activated. That's what I'm working on right now. Now is not the time to demand others to fall into line, as this will be counterproductive. Perhaps you've been too boastful about what you can achieve and have taken on too much. The reverse king may be a person in your life, a father, a boss, a friend, or a lover. He's lost his purpose. Far from a selflessness warmth of an upright king, he became an overbearing bully who will brook no opposition. You know, I was seeing Lewis and Max when they were fighting for that championship in 2021. They really were going at it, but he was still respectful. He was getting savage with him, and Max was all savage. Max landed on his head, right? It was a real he was pushing him more and more into the fire to fight harder. He fought to the very last, to the end. And no matter what, it should have been in the bag, but God took it from him. It wasn't Max. It wasn't the refs. It wasn't the track. It was God. He does it in every game of life. You're sure that this is going to work out. You've got it in the bag, bro. You got it in the bag. And then all of a sudden it falls apart. The bag breaks as you're carrying it, and it hits the ground. Was it about the bag you were carrying? No. It's how far you got to get to the bag. It wasn't about bringing the bag home. Confirmation. It was the process. Hold on. Oh yeah, it's about I just got confirmation. The kids, through her social, I didn't actually do this. My daughter, through her social worker at school, signed her up for all this stuff. So next week I got to pick up a gift box, a Christmas box, and there's gifts for both my children that I signed them up for. Really? Yeah, that's a good confirmation. Realistically, yeah. We're made to believe, and you need to understand it, that it is your life. But you're not alone. You are the creator of it, but you can co-create with God, and not the whole world is on your shoulders. You have to give him some of it to carry for you. You got to give him some of those burdens. You got to give him a place in your life to make this a little bit easier. Going back to my music, I can tell you the truth, and everybody knew it. I wasn't taking the music to the fullest. I had no intentions to become a Grammy winner, or it was about money. The whole intention of why I made music was to teach people that there were women like me, and that women could do more than just, they could do both. That's all I was trying to prove, right? And I did that within one album, but I didn't see myself retiring in music. So no matter how you looked at it, I was going to need a retirement plan. This wasn't my retirement plan. I planned on going into music and seeing where it went, but it wasn't like I'm going to spend the rest of my life as a singer and a songwriter. No, where did I see that leading? To becoming a talk show host. Really? That's what I was going to use that to. Really? How do you get from there to there? It was in the blueprint. And that's what I was going to retire as, a talk show host. What were you going to talk about? What do you think we're talking about right now? I became what my retirement plan was going to be, and that's what I will be, and that's what I am. But it's not that. I saw it as a talk show host, but not as what I really am, which is just the High Priestess. I didn't see it all. I saw myself, and that's where I couldn't see the whole manifestation, but it all still comes. I will still be singing and performing music in my church. I'll be still sitting there, on a couch talking, and it'll be a show. I'll still be honoring God. I'll still be working with music. I'll still be inspiring. It's just like I wasn't supposed to be one part, but bringing all parts to make the one part. Really? And every bit of my life experience is going to be part of that talk show, because it's my life's experience that helps me relate to other people that are still experiencing such lives. That's why it's so important to have so much experience at life. Like military people. I've never been in the military, so I can't really relate to you. I don't know what it means to be in the military. I don't know what it means to have that kind of mindset, that kind of structure, to live that kind of lifestyle. But anybody that's ever been in any branch of the military knows what that means. Now when they get more specific, if you've been in the Army, all the Army knows what it means to be in the Army. But then you get more specific. Well, only infantry knows what it means to be in the infantry. Only parajumpers know what it means to be a parajumper. But they all still have the collective mindset of what it means to be in that part of life, right? So that's what it means is, we can all be part of the human experience, but we all have different areas of expertise. I don't relate, but the more that you share with me your experience of being in the military, the more I have the understanding of what the mindset is to live that type of life. We can't have compassion for something we don't know exists. We know that there's military people. We don't know how they think. And how they think is important because the first part of boot camp is a training that teaches them how to think, how to act, how to talk, what to eat, what to wear. They're trained. They have a trained mindset. We know the jarheads, the Marines are the worst. As far as their militant mindset, yeah, they'll always tell you, especially, or the Navy SEALs. Really, as far as mindsets, their mind is tuned up differently. They give them different information and have them thinking at a different vibration. Great minds think alike, right? So people from the hood, think alike because that's their environment. But you can live in the environment and have a hood environment and then move into a job which is a professional. So now you have both mindsets. Now you're getting multicultured. You're starting to have different diversity in the way you think. That's what's important about experience, is it gives you diversity. You can put yourself in different people's shoes. You understand what it means to be that person rather than just judging. Why do they do that? Why do they talk like that? Why do they dress like that? How come they eat that shit? That's narrow-minded. Instead of judging why they do it, it's having the experience to understand why. I feel very ignorant at this time in my life about Hanukkah. So much to be said and so much that I know, but I know nothing about Hanukkah. What do the candles mean? Why do they light the candles? What is this? It's my job to inform myself or just go another year without knowing how people celebrate Hanukkah. It's important to me. I don't know. I see it a lot and I don't know anything about it. And it's important. Do I just sit around being dumb? Not knowing? Or at what point am I going to do what it takes to find out about something that, God's people live by? They're God's people. And they have this religion, this belief, and they celebrate differently. I owe it to myself to understand how people honor this holiday. Maybe I want to celebrate Hanukkah. They say you can't because of your skin, but that's limiting. They say I can't be a priest because I'm a female. That's not true. I can serve God higher than you can. That's just your limiting beliefs. I can do Hanukkah better than any freaking Jewish person. They said that a high priest can only be a Jewish man. Well, I'm the high priestess. I'm not even Jewish. God sent me in here with this vision, and that's exactly what I told him. I'm not a man, and I'm not a Jewish man, so how can I help these people? You don't have to be them. You can do it in your way. But they always try to say, if you're not them, then you can't do it. What is it? Cultural inappropriation. Hey, let's talk about your silky fucking hair, your hairpiece that you're wearing there, girlfriends. You want to accuse us when we put braids in our hair, or you know what I mean, of us trying to be you, but haven't you been dressing up like us since the day? You should take some honor in the fact that you're rough and tough with your afro puff, and no matter what I do, I can't have one. But we could sure make your hair look like some white girl hair, can't we? We could sure flat iron the shit out of that. We sure can put some bounce in it and some curls and shit. You don't accept that there's a fact that there's something about you that's special that I can never be. And if I try, you're going to make fun of me. And that goes back to white rappers. You can't rap. You're not black. Who said you owned a language? And that's just, that's the thing. It's like, I might not be as good as you, but I think I could try. I might not know how to roll no sushi, but I could roll a joint, so I bet I could try. Yeah. Experience. Experience everything you can while we're here. You know what I never experienced? Heritage Square. It's gone. I did go to celebrities, though. What are these? They were family fun centers here in Colorado. I never went to Heritage Square, which was right there on the other side of Red Rocks. It was this cool little family center that you could go. They had all kinds of stuff. I never went, and now it's gone. I'll never know what it was. Many families had experienced that, but I never did. You take things for, I've done the alpine slides, though. I did that all by myself up at Copper Mountain. Really? Yeah. It was scary. All by myself. What is it? They had them at Heritage Square. It's this little chair that you ride on, and it's on a little roller coaster thing, and it rides down a mountain as fast as you want. I did that. I was scared. And that's it. It's like, do the things that are here to be done, because you're not going to be able to do them later. Don't wait till you're 50 to try to go ride a fucking wave. Wait till you're 70 to buy a fast car. Now you're scared of speed. That's stupid. Have the experience so you can gain the wisdom, so you can teach somebody else about what that experience meant and inspire them to have great experiences. Live your life fully, like a fool, with faith that this is good for you. Don't just do foolish shit, but let your heart dive you into an adventure. Let it make risky decisions, and you see how brave and strong and how everything is okay, and it will always be okay. You need to have that knowing inside of you to live life. You need to know things are going to be okay. The only way you're going to know it is when you see that things are okay when you do bad things. They're not bad. They're just risky. Things that people wouldn't do. They're too afraid to do. Nobody would have ever done what I did. They called me crazy for it, but I told them where it came from, and it all led to here. Visionaries are crazy. I love my favorite visionary is Benjamin Franklin. What a crazy guy, bro. They gave him the idea. Who? Metatron. Metatron told him to go catch the lightning. He saw that it could be done. Well, he saw that he saw that this thing could make light for the world. Just like Tony Stark. He saw that he could do this. He just didn't know how, and he had to work at it. God gives you a vision. And that's it too. What do you give me? Get a computer. I'm going to make this right. What do I need from you? You need to get a computer. I'll tell you what to do with it when you get it. And that's it. Like, he gives you one step. I lost my house. Where am I going to go? Go to Oklahoma. What the fuck am I going to do there? Sit there until I tell you what to do next. What did I do? I just started reading my books and just sitting there waiting for his decision. Then he tells me to go to Wisconsin. But then what happened in Wisconsin? Same thing that was about to happen here. I started thinking about a future in Wisconsin. I was trying to get a job. I was trying to get my kids into housing. The very next day he said, do this, so that it would all end. And that's it. We were so close to, getting comfortable. I was too comfortable that he had to kick me out. Then I got to fucking, what did I do here? I kept trying to get a house and a job as soon as I got here, so he had to kick me out of here. Not here, the shelter, but when I got back to Colorado, right? By the time I got to my sister's, I knew I wasn't supposed to, but she really didn't like that answer. So after 2 weeks, she agreed to 2 weeks, dude. She had me out on the second week. I'm on my way back to Colorado. My mind's trying to tell me what to do, and I keep having to fight it. It's the hardest fight. But then there's the plan. He tells me what to do. You've got to listen. Be still and be ready. He's not always telling you what to do because he doesn't always have shit for you to do. What he really wants you to do is work on yourself, and that will create the work for outside. How'd I get this house? Because he told me to go turn in the application to Morgan's. This was going to come anyways, but if I didn't turn that application into Morgan's, I wouldn't have been manifesting this. I wouldn't have been mentally prepared for it. I had no idea that she had signed me up for social workers, or, through the Jewish Family Services. But I had took the step on my own to start housing. It was never going to work my way, but I followed the step in fear. I'm afraid to do this, but God says I'm ready. So since I showed him that I was ready to face the fear, it was never about me doing it on my own, but just facing that fear on my own. Really? Yeah. And going back to it, I could get her to work with them. She could move me into that building just as quickly if I wanted it. Really? Yeah, she's like, we can work outside of our connections, but our connections are, solid. If you wanted another place, we could easily make do the same thing with another place. We just go off of our list. That's all. I could choose my own housing and have them sign all of this up as long as I pass the application process, and that's it. And so that's why it's more important to go through who they already know, and they don't have to explain this, the wraparound services to a new place. These place already knows that this is a solid check, that they're getting paid no matter what. And if they evict me, they're going to pay for it too. If I don't work out, they get paid all the way. Really? Yeah, that's why it's with the city. But you can go back, and I said I wasn't ready. I'm not ready. I don't think I'm ready. I'm scared. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. But I still did it with that fear. And I'm still doing it. It's like, oh, I can't do this. But you got to keep doing it. It's not big things. It's little things that make huge changes in your future. Investing in your future. That goes back to it. If you believe that you're an artist, but you have no time to paint because you're too busy at work, invest in that belief. Which is what? Start getting your shit ready for when that day comes. It's going to come where you're going to leave this job and you're going to be what you truly are, which is an artist. When this business closes, you know what you're supposed to do. And you're ready. You're going to have your paint. You're going to have your fucking palettes. You're going to have everything you need. And your space. You're ready for that day when your career, when your calling is there. And the calling is already calling you. It's always been calling you. I was always a priestess of God, bro. I just didn't realize it. I was always outreaching and positive. I was always a light worker. I always had the gift of discernment, which is being psychic. I always had the ability to manifest. I always had the ability to heal. I always had all of these things. I just didn't know what they were. And I developed them stronger and stronger, by which is what? Listening to your heart. That's all this all started. Honoring your heart above all things, no matter what other people will say, no matter how bad your mind doesn't understand. That's your connection. Yeah? Hey, welcome to the Divine Feminine Awakening. Are you waking up? Wake up, wake up. It's about your fire signs. Get in the fire. Get in the action. Take some action. Love yous. Laters. Bye.